What's up everyone, my name is Jason. I am the owner and founder of SWAE Candles, and I'm super excited to have this opportunity to show you guys a little bit of what I do as a candle maker on a daily basis, and to talk about the benefits of clean burning and non-toxic candles and how you can make your own here right at home. And before we get started, here's a couple things that you're gonna need. All right, so first on the list is gonna be the wax. This wax is called the Nature Wax C6. This wax is a coconut and soy blend. It is a wax that we like to use a lot in our candle shop. We specifically chose this wax right here because it is non-GMO and also came from renewable sources. It's a wax that we like to use, and I think you guys will like it too. Next up is probably everyone's favorite right here, which is the fragrance oil. So the fragrance oils is what's gonna give the scent to your candles. You can find varieties of fragrance oils on candlescience.com. For this one, we've got a couple of different ones to show you guys, and we'll probably just be using a couple of these for our video. Now, for everyone at home, you can also blend different types of fragrance oils to make your candles, as long as the volume of the fragrance oils adds up to its required number. And we'll go into that later in the video. This is it, the fragrance oil. We'll also need a digital thermometer. This is gonna help us track the temperature of the wax. And next up, I've picked out a couple of different containers we have laying around the house, just to show you guys. If you have drink glasswares, cups laying around the house, you can turn all those things into a candle. This is a baby mason jar that we have, and I specifically picked out this one right here just to show you guys. These jars right here does not have to go to waste. Just simply give it a good rinse, clean it inside, make sure you give it a good cleaning, and we can turn this into a beautiful candle. All right guys, the next on the list is probably my favorite. These are wooden wicks from woodenwicks.com. Right here we have wicks in different sizes to accommodate different size jars. As you know, the bigger jars will require a bigger wick in length, and a wider wick to help melt all the wax in the jar. We prefer to use these wax in our shop, and all of our products are, as of right now, all of our products include the wooden wicks. These wicks does make crackling sounds when it's burning. It adds a very special sound. It just adds a very special effects to the aromatherapy, and I'm excited for you guys to try it out. So next up is going to be the wick tabs right here. These wick tabs are easy to use. You can just simply insert the wick right here, and it'll hold just fine. And you can find these out on woodenwicks.com as well. And we will also need a pitcher, something to pour our wax in, also to melt the wax. This is a 4-pound pitcher. You can find these on Amazon or candlescience.com as well. Now we'll also be using glue dots, or if you have glue guns laying around the house, these will work just fine. We'll be using these two right here to glue the wick tabs onto the containers right here. This is what's gonna hold it in the candle. Very important right here. And one last thing we'll need is a digital scale. We're gonna be using the scale to weight the wax and also weight the fragrance oil that we put into wax, to make sure everything is up to this number that it's supposed to be. You can find these scales on Amazon.com. They're about $10. Must have if you plan to make candles at home. All right, so those are gonna be some of the things that we'll need for this video. Now that we have it, let's get started. All right guys, first thing we're gonna do is fill up a pot with some water. The water doesn't need to be anywhere higher than 3 inches. Just a little bit enough to get it going and heat up the wax. So we're gonna go ahead and place water here. And while we wait for the water to simmer, we're gonna go ahead and come back here and cut up some wax. These wax are very soft, they're very easy to work with. They are very smooth. I'll just take a butter knife and it's very easy. There you go. We're gonna go ahead and cut the wax into small chunks. That way the wax can melt quicker and faster for us to work with. And we'll also measure the wax as we cut them up. So we're gonna go ahead and place the pitcher onto the scale. Make sure to zero out. You wanna make sure you turn on the scale after you place the pitcher onto the scale. That way you measure only the weight of the wax and not counting the pitcher. Once we got it going, we're gonna go ahead and place the wax into the pitcher. Now for this video, we're gonna be aiming for 2 pounds of wax. So that's gonna be 32 ounce. So we're at about 32.42, and that is somewhat ideal for us to work with. So we gotta add about 32.42, 32.35, and that's perfect. That's roughly about 2 pounds. We wanna get it as close as we can to the whole number. So 1 pound comes out as 16 ounce. So 32 ounce, we want to get as close as we can to the whole number when it comes to how many pounds. So 32, 35. So we're gonna estimate everything, and we're gonna shoot everything for 2 pounds. And now we'll go ahead and take our 2 pounds of wax, and we'll go ahead and melt that down into liquid form. All right, so we got the water simmering a little bit. So at this point, we'll go ahead and drop the loaded wax into the pot. All right, guys, once we have the wax melted, we're gonna go ahead and let it cool off. We will take it out of the pot and set it to the side. All right, once we have the wax removed from the stove, we're gonna go ahead and measure the temperature of the wax. So anywhere around 175 to 180 is about the number you want to be at. Now that we know it's at a right temperature, we'll go ahead and let it cool off. And while we wait for the wax to cool down to the right temperature to mix with the fragrance oil, we'll go ahead and add the wicks onto the containers. And I'm going to show you guys how to make that happen. Now each of these wicks comes in different sizes. In order to find the right one, you can find the wick guide on the woodenwicks.com or candlescience.com. They will be able to guide you and help you find the right wick for the right size container. So we were able to measure these containers by the wick. So we'll go ahead and place them in there in each container. And once we have them identified, we'll go ahead and add the wick tabs onto the wick, and we'll go ahead and slap them on the containers itself.
And for this video, we'll be using the glue dots right here to add the wick tab onto the container. So we're gonna go ahead and place the glue dot on each of the wick. Once we got the glue dots onto the wick tabs, and now we're ready to go ahead and slap them on the container. So you'll go ahead and peel this off. And with the container, you want to aim as close as you can to the middle. This could take some time to get it right, but no rush. You know, take your time, get it as straight as you can. Right about there. That looks pretty good. We'll press it down to give it some pressure and make sure the glue dot stays on. And if you made a mistake, you can always pull back and readjust, like so. And this jar is probably my favorite one at the moment, just because we're able to recycle. Anytime we're able to recycle a jar is always a good accomplishment. It's always a good feeling about it. All right, here we go. We got it right in the middle.
All right, so I hope you guys are able to follow along so far. I've got 4 different containers. So we got this small drinkware, small glassware, and we got the small wick in there. We also have the small mason jar. This is about a 4-ounce mason jar. And we have a Libby's tumbler jar right here, which has got the biggest and the widest wick. And also the mayo jar that we're able to reuse and recycle with. All 4 of them's got the jar inside. I also want to take a little bit of time to go over the fragrance oils and the wax while we wait for the wax to cool off a little bit. The ideal temperature for the wax to pour with for us to add the fragrance oils is about 150. While we wait for it to go down to 150, I've picked out 2 of the fragrance oils that I like to use. So the rule of thumb for fragrance oils is going to be 1 pound of wax per 1 ounce of fragrance oils. That is the standard. It's about a 6% fragrance load. And for this video, we're gonna go ahead and follow that standard fragrance load, which is gonna be 1 ounce per 1 pound of wax. And if this is your first time ever making candles, these 1 ounce bottles from Candle Science makes it really easy for you to measure because each one is 1 ounce. And since I've got two pounds of wax right here melted, what we're gonna do is go ahead and do a little mixing. I've picked out, this is the strawberry guava, and we're gonna go ahead and mix that with mint mojito right here. We're gonna see what it can do. And before you add these oils in there, the labels right here shows you that fragrance oils is approved for candles, soap, and lotion. It has the percentage for candles, soap, and lotion on there. It also has a flash point on each bottles, which is to tell you that to not mix the oils when the wax is too hot, which is why I recommend pouring these oils into the wax, mixing them at about 150 degrees That way the fragrance oils doesn't burn off and you might lose some of the scents and the fragrance from the oils.
All right, guys, so we're at about 149, 150 degrees. And at this point, we'll go ahead and add in the fragrance oils. Because we know we have 2 pounds of wax inside, so we know that we have to fill at least with 2 ounces of fragrance oils. And like I said before, the Candle Science bottles makes it really easy to work with. These small bottles comes in 1 ounce each, so we'll go ahead and add them in there. Now, if you are measuring with a bigger quantity and you're mixing different oils, then you definitely want to place them on a scale to measure how much oil you put inside to get the number to add up to the required amount to make the candles. So we're gonna go ahead and pour in the 2 ounce, 1 ounce of strawberry guava, and also 1 ounce of mint mojito. And I have never worked with either of these fragrances before, so this is something new to me as well. And I think this is going to be a great scent for the summer. So now we'll go ahead and take something and this could be anything, any cookware or anything that you're able to mix the fragrance oils with. We'll go ahead and give it a light stir. Once you've got the fragrance oil in there, you can see in the picture that there's no clunks or there's no chunks or cloudy spots where it looks like there's still oils that needs to be broken down. So once we get to this point, we're ready to pour. All right, we're gonna start with a big tumbler jar. When you pour, you wanna go real slow, nice and easy. You don't want to create any bubbles at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and pour it nice and slow, nice and easy. Now we're gonna let these guys cool down as slow as possible and let it take its time to form and harden up into the candles that we're gonna burn. And if you have extra wax left in the pitcher, like we do have a little bit right here, they don't have to go to waste. What you can do is take an ice tray or any containers that you might have, and we can go ahead and pour them into these trays and turn them into wax melts. And if you're a customer of SWAE Candles, you already know these stars, we include these wax melt stars in every order. And this is how we make it.
All right, guys, so we've made it to the final step. Congratulations, you've made it. So one thing I want to talk about is the rough surface on the top. So as you notice, I don't know if you see it in the video, but the mason jar right here has a little bit of a rough surface. Now, if your candle is cooling off at a temperature that's below 70 degrees, there is a chance that it could have a rough. There might be a couple of small holes around the area. That all that means is that the wax cooled off a little bit too fast. It didn't have time to expand and bind with the oil. So what we're gonna do is, first, do not panic. Everything can be fixed. So what you'll do is take a blow dryer and you're just gonna simply do small circles very slowly at the top until the very top layer of the candle melts and fills up the holes or covers up any gaps or bumps that might be on the top surface until it's smooth. You want to go slow, just take maybe 10 to 20 seconds, set it to hot, and just melt the top of the candles for a little bit, and that'll fix the problem. Using the blow dryer is also another great method to melt the leftover wax once you finish the candles. Again, you just want to get it hot enough. You use the blow dryer to melt those excess remaining wax, and then reuse the jars again. Or you can also put the container inside the oven to heat it up, and then just pour it out of the trash can. You can reuse these jars for anything. I want to show you guys one right here. This is one of our culture collection candles, and once it burned out, put some plants in there and it's ready to go. Again, these make great potting jars right here for plants. Here's another one that I want to show you guys. This is another great candle that we burn out, clean out the jars, and we use it for flowers. So all the containers and jars don't have to go to waste. You can always reuse them and come up with different ideas to spruce up the home and add up to the home decor. And I know you guys are dying to know when you can fire these candles up right here that you just made yourself. I recommend to wait at least 2 days before you guys fire these up. You can burn it right away if you like, but however, I recommend giving it a couple days. Allow the wax and the fragrance oils to bind and to come together. This step is called the curing phase. So all of our candles in our candle shops, we cure it for at least 7 days before we send it out to customers and wholesalers. We set it to 7 days just to maximize its fragrance, and just simply allow the candles a little bit more time to the wax and the fragrance oils to work together, and to really give out the maximum result. Like I said, you can burn it if you like, but the fragrance might be a little bit weak versus waiting a couple of days and just let it really sit together. And then once you fire it up, then you can really smell the fragrance and the finished product of this candle. So that's it, guys. I want to thank you for allowing me to hop on here tonight and show you a little bit of what I do and how you can craft your own non-toxic, clean burning candles at home. This truly has been a passion of mine, and my company started because I have family and many loved ones, friends that will get headaches, that has asthma and has severe allergic reactions to a lot of these mass-produced candles. And with so many major candle companies out in the market and so many mass-produced candles out in the market, in big chain stores, it could be really hard to find a product that's really clean, really pure. So it became my passion and my goal to create something like that for everyone to enjoy. With this video, we showed you that how you can craft your own at home, how you can recycle jars and not spend extra money to buy candles, all of the things that you can do in your own living room and in your kitchen. You can find links of all the supplies and materials that we used in the video in a section down below. We've included the wax, we've included the fragrance oils, and big shout out to California Theater for the Arts, Escondido, for this opportunity to allow me to come on here and show you guys what I do as a candle maker and how you can craft your own candles at home. You can find infos and instructions on candle care on our website at www.justswae.com, or if you have any questions, you can feel free to email us and message us on all social media platforms. Leave a comment down below, or if I gloss over anything that I forgot to mention, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll definitely help you make the candle that you like. I've also included the link of a candle packaging. Flush packaging is the next step if you want to package and gift these candles that you just made. So check out flushpackaging.com. There's a variety of boxes that fit your candle, and ship them out to your friends, to family, so they can enjoy something that you crafted yourself. Let us know how we do. Let us know how to come out. If there's anything we can help, we will certainly help you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to reach out to us, and thank you guys so much for this opportunity. My name is Jason, and I look forward to seeing you next time.